Hi guys, and welcome to a book haul part 2. So this one, I'll tell you about why I got most of these books in a moment when I get to them. Let's go ahead and start with the ones I did not buy, and that would be these 3. These 3 are ones that I won from Goodreads. So 2 of them are ARCs. One is actually a finished copy. So this one says it comes out in May of 2023. This is the Friday Night Club, written by Sofia Lundberg, Alyson, Richman, and MJ Rose. So this is an ARC. It says it's on sale May 16th. And it says, early 1900s, the world belongs to men, and the art world in Stockholm, Sweden is no different, until Hilma A.F. Klint brings together a mysterious group of female painters and writers, Anna, Cornelia, Sigrid, and Mathilda, to form their own emotional and artistic support system. The members of the Friday Night Club find themselves thrust into uncharted territory when Hilma and her best friend Anna began dabbling in the occult, believing that through seances they can channel unseen spirits to help them achieve their potential as artists. The Five, as Hilma referred to them, was a group of immensely talented, fascinating women whose lives and work were cast into obscurity, until now. The present. Over a century later, an associate curator at the Guggenheim Museum, Eben Elliott, brings the Hilma A.F. Klint show to New York, where he uncovers questions about the Five and how the modern art world is funded. This puts him in a precarious position both emotionally and professionally, as he witnesses how history can be manipulated. It says that this is an illuminating historical novel that explores destiny, passion, and the threads that connect 5 women as they challenge artistic and societal traditions. So, sounds really good. So this is an ARC that I won from Goodreads. The other ARC that I won is this one. Cassiel's Servant, written by Jacqueline Carey. This one is set to come out August. It says August of 2023. I don't have an exact date, just the month and year. So, I mean, this one's a thick one. It's just over 500 pages. So, okay, with the epilogue, this edition, the uncorrected proof, is 514 pages. So, yeah, okay. This is the lush epic fantasy that inspired a generation with a single precept: love as thou wilt. This one says, returning to the realm of Tiers d'Ange, which captured an entire generation of fantasy... Okay. Let's see. Captured fantasy reader, New York Times best-selling author, brings us a hero's journey for a new era. Let's see. Daring young courtesan uncovered a plot to destroy her beloved homeland, but hers is only half the tale. Now see the other half of the heart that lived it. Okay. Cassiel's Servant. Here we go. Cassiel's Servant is a retelling of cult favorite Cassiel's Dart from the point of view of Jocelyn, Cassielin, warrior priest and protector of Piedreno de Leone. I don't know. He's sworn to celibacy, and the blade has as surely as she's pledged to pleasure, but the gods they serve have bound them together. When both are betrayed, they must rely on each other to survive. From his earliest training to captivity among their enemies, his journey with Fiedre to avert the conquest of Terry de Angie shatters body and mind, and brings him an impossible love that he will do anything to keep, even if it means breaking all vows and losing his soul. So, there you go. That is the other ARC. Again, this one is set to come out in August of this year. This next one is a finished copy that I won. Juno Loves Legs by Carl Geary, I'm guessing is how that one is said. So finished copy. This one says, Juno Loves Legs is a story of two teens labeled as delinquents. Juno and Sean, nicknamed Legs, grow up on the same housing estate, where spirited, intelligent Juno is ostracized for her poverty and Legs is persecuted for his sexuality. They find safety only in each other. The backdrop is Dublin, Ireland, in the 1980s, a place of political, social, and religious change. The friends yearn for an unbound life, and together they begin to navigate the often violent adult world with honesty and intuition. But as the country emerges from a dark Catholicism into the wider world of possibilities, Juno and Legs are further alienated through acts of bravery and cowardice, their own and others, as one shocking act of defiance that threatens to separate them forever. It says it reminds us that courage, kindness, and love appear in places where they are not always expected and in forms not always recognized, but with a potency that cannot be ignored. So, Juno Loves Legs. I think that sounds pretty good. So, and where it talks about the one person is ostracized for his sexuality, I'm guessing that it's LGBT. So, just in case you're wondering, but I don't know 100% for sure. Okay, this next one I will show you is one that came in the adult Once Upon a Book Club, which that box was a disappointment. If you've seen that unboxing, you will know the box was a disappointment. And I've actually had like 2 other people comment on that video saying like one had ordered it and one was about to order it, I think. Anyway, they were both disappointed in it too. So anyway, so the book was A Brighter Flame by Christine Nolfi? I don't know. It says, a family in repair. Val Leitner's dreams turn to ash when the Pittsburgh bar she owns goes up in flames. Just like the past she escaped, very little seems salvageable. Facing unavoidable change, Val returns to her hometown of Philadelphia to stay with her grandmother. She knows that returning also means facing everything she left behind, a mother and stepfather who shunted her into the background from the day they married, and her charmed and favored half-sister Blythe, who has abandoned a perfect marriage and is now at a crossroads of her own. Everyone has their secrets, and this reunited family, racked by them, is about to reach a crisis point. For a mother and her 2 daughters, this reunion is a chance for closure, newfound love, and forgiveness. As each of them reassesses her own memories of the past, only the truth can bring them together in ways that could last forever. So, and it's from the best-selling author of The Passing Storm, which I have not read. So this will be my first time reading from this author. The book does sound good, just the gifts that came with this were a disappointment. One, there was a design flaw, and the others were just not my style type of a situation, which that's the chance when you subscribe to a monthly book box. That's always a chance and a risk you're going to take. So far with Once Upon a Book Club, I've been doing this for a couple of months now. Well, more than a couple of months, several months now. This is the box that this book came in was the first disappointment out of all of those. So I think that's pretty good odds. So at least for me, but yeah, there's just always that chance. So anyway, moving on. Okay, these next 2 books are ones that I ordered that I thought these would be the only ones coming in. And I can't really tell you much about these. These are both mangas and they're both volume 2s in a series. I have the second one of Dreamin by Ichigo Takano. So this one, and the first one, this teenager runs away from home. She feels like she's not loved anymore. Runs across this guy who's basically drunk in a park, and he's like, hey, you can move in with me, but you have to tell me why you ran away. You have to tell me of a dream that you're going to have, and help me find my key to get into the house, basically. So she does those things and moves in with him and develops a crush on one of the guys. There's 3 guys and this one girl in the house, and to me, she reads like she's 14. I don't know exactly how old she is, but there's 2 other guys that live there that are in high school. And I think she's in high school, so I think she's probably closer to 16, but she reads young. And then this main guy who is like the landlord is, I think, mid-20s, so we're just following that. So I was intrigued enough and enjoyed it enough. It was very sweet. I enjoyed it enough to get the next one, so I'll be ready to read that at some point. The next manga that I got is Children of the Whales Volume 2. This is a fantasy world. They're on an island that is surrounded by a sea of sand. You cannot walk on this sand without sinking. It's not quicksand, but it very, like you, in order to get from one place to another and you have to cross the sea of sand, or the sand, yeah, you have to get in a boat and row like you're on the ocean or a lake or something. There's two types of people on this main island. You have those that are marked and those that are unmarked. The unmarked are considered the wise elders because they can live to a very old age. The marked die young, and the marked have magical abilities. One day this island pops up that they go that wasn't there before, and so a group of marked individuals go from their island to this other island to see if they can salvage anything or what's going on. And they find a girl, they bring her back, the elders want to interrogate her, and then at one point this group of people shows up and they start shooting guns. So that's all I know. I was a little creeped out. There was something that just kind of creeped and weirded me out, but I am intrigued enough to continue this series. So this is volume 2 by Umeda. I don't know how long this series is, but I am intrigued to continue. I want to know what's going to happen. Like, I really want to know. I think it's the world that kind of creeped me out with all of the sand and everything. It just, yeah. Anyway, all right, moving on. These next books. So what has happened is the bank that I bank with, it does for their bank credit card, they have a rewards program, which most credit card companies do. So this one's the one that I bank with, and I haven't touched the rewards points in over a year. So I was like, oh, I'm going to see how much, you know, I can convert it into cash back. Well, I could get $50 back and just have that put into like my savings or something like that. Just $50. But if I did a gift card, I could get $150. So $50 cash versus a $150 gift card. Yeah, I went with the gift card and I got books. So I got some other stuff too. Like I got a diamond painting and like little diamond painting coaster things that are sunflowers for the spring. So I got those and books. And I got a little thing for my cat where it's like a ball of catnip that you just stick onto a wall or something. She'll love on it. She's enjoyed it. Okay, so these are the books I got with that gift card. So let's delve into it. This first one, 3 of them I will tell you are mangas, and these are, I believe they're short story horrors. They are horror. I don't know if they're short stories. I got them because they're all by Junji Ito. This first one I have is called The Liminal Zone. And there's the back. And end pages. And without the dust jacket. So, yeah. And this is like a buttery smooth dust jacket. Oh, I like it. I love that feeling when it's like that buttery smooth feeling. That is my favorite texture on books. Okay, let's see. After abruptly departing from a train in a small town, a couple encounters a weeping woman, a professional mourner, sobbing inconsolably at a funeral. Mako changes afterward. She can't stop crying. In another tale, having decided to die together, a couple enters Ayogahara, the infamous suicide forest. What is the shocking otherworldly torrent that they discover there? One of horror's greatest tales, Junji Ito beckons readers to join him in an experience of ultimate horror with 4 transcendently terrifying tales. So 4 short stories. Okay? Horror short stories by Junji Ito. Alright. Next up, I have Lovesickness by Junji Ito. An intoxicating beauty turns a small town into a bloody hell. Ryushiki returns to town where he once lived when rumors begin swirling about girls killing themselves after encountering a bewitchingly handsome young man. Harboring his own secret from his time spent in this town, Ryushiki attempts to capture the beautiful boy and close the case. Starting with the strikingly bloody Lovesickness, this volume collects 10 stories showcasing horror master Junji Ito in peak form, including the strange Haikizuri, Siblings, and The Rib Woman. So 10 short horror stories. Okay. And then this one is also by Junji Ito, Remina. And then there's the back. This one says, I'm going to say Remina, because it seems like it's supposed to be the name of an individual. I met Remina's eye. An unknown planet emerges from inside a wormhole, and its discoverer, Dr. Oguro, christens the body Remina after his own daughter. His finding is met with great fanfare, and Remina herself rises to fame. However, the object picks up speed as it moves along in its curious course, eliminating planets and stars one after another, until finally Earth itself faces extinction. Is the girl Remina the true cause of the catastrophe? A masterwork of horror from Junji Ito unfolding on a universal scale. So this one seems like it's maybe one story instead of a collection of short stories. We'll see when I get to it, when I know for sure. Yeah, because it's got 5 chapters and then 6 chapters including the final chapter. So here's end pages and then end pages. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Okay, those are all the mangas that I got. The rest of these are books by 2 different authors. Okay, one author. Okay, so these 2 I'll tell you about are by V.S. Alexander. This one is called The Irishman's Daughter. These are going to be historical fiction. This one says, Ireland, 1845. To Brianna Walsh, no place on earth is more beautiful than Carrotage, County Mayo, with its sloping fields and rocky cliffs perched above the wild Atlantic. The small farms that surround the centuries-old Lear house are managed by her father, agent to the wealthy, reckless Sir Thomas Blakely. Tenant farmers sell the oats and rye they grow up to pay rent to Sir Thomas, surviving on the potatoes that flourish in the remaining scraps of land. But when the potato crop falls prey to a devastating blight, families Brianna has known all her life are left with no food, no resources, and no mercy from the English landowner, who seems indifferent to everything except profit. Of course, that's generally the way that goes, right? Rory Caulfield, the hard-working young farmer Brianna hopes to marry, shares the locals' despair and their anger. There's talk of violent reprisals against the callous gentry and their agents. Brianna's studious older sister Lucinda dreams of a future far beyond Mayo. But even as hunger and disease settle over the country, killing and displacing millions, Brianna knows she must find a way to guide her family through one of Ireland's darkest hours, toward hope, love, and a new beginning. That sounds really good, and I like the fact that with this historical fiction, it's not based on a war. This is based on, what is the word I'm looking for? It sounds like, it's where all the crops die. Sounds like there's a plague. I don't know, where people go hungry because they can't grow the food, and I'm blanking on the word. There's a specific word I'm thinking of. It's not a drought, but it's similar, but it's regarding food instead of water. I don't know. Anyway, but let's just go ahead and move on because I'm going to wreck my brain. I'll remember it tonight when I'm at like 2 a.m. So this next one by V.S. Alexander is called The Traitor. So that's that one. This one I'm a little bummed by because it's like, I mean, you can't really see it, but it is, the edges are dirty. It doesn't affect the story, or it's just the edges. It's like it just got dropped several times. It's not bent or anything. There's just dirt on the pages. So just on the edges. It doesn't go into the pages, so it's just on the very edges. So I'm a little disappointed by that, but it is what it is. It says, in the summer of 1942, a war rages across Europe. A series of anonymous leaflets appears around the University of Munich, speaking out against escalating Nazi atrocities. So this sounds like it's a World War II historical fiction. The leaflets are hidden in public places or mailed to addresses selected at random from the phone book. Natalia Petrovich, a student knows who is behind the leaflets, a secret group called the White Rose, led by siblings Hans and Sophie Skoll and their friends. As a volunteer nurse on the Russian front, Natalia witnessed the horrors of war firsthand. She willingly enters the White Rose's circle, where every hushed conversation Every small act of dissent could mean imprisonment or death at the hands of an infuriated Gestapo. Natalia risks everything alongside her friends, hoping the power of words will encourage others to resist. But even among those she trusts most, there is no guarantee of safety, and when danger strikes, she must take an extraordinary gamble in her own personal struggle to survive. So, the Traitor. So, this next author is Donna Ashcroft. She writes chick lit romance. Writes chick lit romance. Okay. All right. So, this one on top is called The Little Village of New Starts. This one says, let me check the time. Okay. Evie is playing it safe. She lives on her family's farm in the Scottish Highlands and never ventures beyond the local village. The most unpredictable events in her life are the antics of her grandmother Agnes's pygmy goat. She learns that bad things happen when she's impulsive, and she's determined not to get burned again. Callum is exactly the opposite of what Evie needs. 6'2" of reckless energy with twinkling eyes and a dangerously charming smile. He's a thrill-seeking American firefighter. Callum enters the Lochtown like a whirlwind, fleeing his problems in New York City in search of the truth about his family. Yet the pair might have more in common than they think. When Agnes persuades her to help Callum find his grandfather, Evie finds herself being challenged more than she has in years. Turns out it's easy for Evie and Callum to connect when they let go of their fears and enjoy the most surprising summer of their lives. But getting close to Callum so quickly soon starts to look like it might ruin everything for Evie. She's heading for disaster, exactly like the one that destroyed her a year ago when she fell for the wrong man. Maybe a fresh start isn't going to be so simple after all. Is the safe haven Evie's built about to crumble down around her? So, The Little Village of New Starts. And these are all small town in Scotland, and I love that. Small town, yes. Scotland, yes. I also love stuff that takes place in Ireland. Those are like my 3 top favorite things. Okay. This next one by Donna Ashcroft is Snowflakes and Secrets in the Scottish Highlands. This one says, a 31-year-old Mary is escaping to the Scottish Highlands for Christmas. Heartbroken by the death of her father, the man who raised her single-handedly, she needs some time to heal. Hiding away at Chestnut Cottage with only her Aunt Ava's menagerie of pets for company seems like the perfect way to spend a peaceful December. But when she arrives, Mary discovers some curious instructions from her aunt, asking her to organize Secret Santa gifts for the residents of Christmas Village. Mary's determined to try and carry out her aunt's festive task, but on her first night in the little college, everything goes wrong, including upsetting the handsome local vet, Theo Ellis Lee, when he arrives to assist with a crazed turkey and the mischievous rabbit who's torn apart her aunt's gift list. Mary is completely out of her comfort zone, and it doesn't help that Theo is both infuriatingly cheerful and insanely attractive. Mary's plans for a quiet break are quickly thwarted as Theo starts coming by every day to check on the unruly animals, and she can't deny he sets her pulse racing. And one by one, the friendly locals draw her out of her shell with cozy cups of tea, warm words, and laughter-filled evenings in the pub. She finds herself embracing the challenge of finding the perfect gift for each of the kind-hearted people on her list. When Theo offers to help, sparks fly between them. But when the Secret Santa project forces Mary to face her heartache, she's not sure she's ready for a fresh start. At a crossroads in her life, will Mary decide to go home and hide from her problems, or will she open her heart and stay in Christmas Village? All right. Next up I have is The Little Cornish House. Also by Donna Ashcroft, obviously. These are, I'm on the last 2 books, and they're both by Donna Ashcroft, so I really love her writing. 30-year-old Ruby is done with love. No more drama, no more complications, no more men. She's living life for herself, and that's just the way she likes it. But her whole world is turned upside down when her grandmother calls to say her beloved pottery business is failing, and she might lose her beautiful little Cornish house by the sea. She needs Ruby to come back to Cornwall and save the day. Returning to Indigo Cove stirs up memories Ruby would rather forget, but she's determined to save her grandmother's home. As the summer hots up, so does the pressure on Ruby, and she's in need of a distraction. Although quite literally walking into Gabe Roskilde, the sexy and brooding owner of the local brewery, wasn't part of her game plan. Ruby tries to ignore her attraction to Gabe, but it's impossible to avoid the tall, dark, handsome stranger, as Gabe is at the center of village life. And when Ruby's plans for the little Cornish house start to fall apart, she discovers Gabe might be the one person who can help her. Ruby's promise to stay single is tested to the limit, but are Gabe's intentions all good? Or is Ruby about to get her heart broken again? Can Ruby save her grandmother's cottage and find true happiness this summer? Or will secrets from the past ruin everything? These are by, I think published, is it by, yeah, bookauteur.com. So, The Cornish House. The Little Cornish House. A heartwarming, feel-good, romantic comedy to escape with this summer. Alright, this last book I had to tell you about by Donna Ashcroft is called The Little Guesthouse of New Beginnings. A gorgeously feel-good and heartwarming romance to escape with. I really like this cover. So there's that one. Okay. This one says, when 23-year-old Madison arrives at the Sunshine Hideaway, she discovers the beautiful little guest house is falling into disrepair. With the help of old friends, Amy and Connor, Madison throws herself into creating a gorgeous wellness retreat, introducing yoga sessions, adventure walks, and ice cream sundaes with a delicious twist. But will it be enough to save her childhood home? Handsome and mysterious Connor has lived on Sunflower Island his whole life. He works hard as a builder with his faithful dog Jaws by his side, but something is missing and he dreams of bigger things. As Connor helps to revamp the Sunshine Hideaway, this could be his opportunity to tell the woman he's secretly been in love with for years how he really feels. As spontaneous and fun-loving Madison settles into life on the close-knit island, sparks fly between her and shy Connor as they clash on the reinvention of the guest house. There's an extra word here. Anyway, it says, are they too different? I think it's just supposed to be, are they too different to make things work, or will Madison and Connor finally find true love this year? An utterly perfect feel-good romance about the power of friendship, the meaning of home, and the joy of falling in love in the sunshine. Perfect for fans of Carol Matthews, Millie Johnson, and Debbie McComber. So, The Little Guest House of New Beginnings. Sounds good. So those are the books. So 1 from a book box, 3 that I won from Goodreads, 2 that I bought because I had read the first book and want to continue on with the series, and the rest were all from gift cards. It was from a gift card from my bank for having enough points. So again, it was either $50 cash back or a $150 gift card, and there's a couple of options I could have chose from, but I just did Amazon because I thought, oh, I could get some books. So that's what I did. So that's it for this part 2 book haul, physical book haul. Let me know if you've read any of these. Who is your favorite author or your absolute favorite book? Let me know in the comments. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.